For hundreds of years, the federal government has assumed a major and active role in managing all aspects of Native American life, a much larger and more intrusive role than it plays in non-Native economic life. Even before our ancestors were forced onto reservations, the U.S. Supreme Court declared that the federal government functions as our guardian. We were reduced to the status of dependent wards, but the federal government failed to protect us and actually helped extract resources from our lands for the benefit of non-natives. Reservation boundaries were often drawn and redrawn to exclude us from valuable resources like arable land, gold, and oil. The Dawes Act of 1887 was billed as a way of integrating Native Americans into American society and assimilating us as independent yeoman farmers. Indians were allotted 160-acre parcels, but did not get title to the land, which was held in trust by the federal government because, according to the government, we were not competent and capable. In practice, this allotment era further eroded our individual rights and tribal sovereignty, removing millions of acres from tribal jurisdiction. Things actually became worse in 1934 when Congress eliminated the pathways to securing legal land title and locked our land into federal trust in perpetuity. Many rules and regulations affecting tribal lands are still dictated from Washington, D.C., where the Bureau of Indian Affairs oversees the management of 56 million acres of Indian country. Tribal governments and members remain legally obligated to defer to federal agencies on everything from land use decisions to managing a loved one's inheritance. Most tribal governments rely on grants allocated by D.C. politicians and tied to meeting federal priorities rather than community ones. Over the centuries, a constantly changing regime of federal policies overturned economies based on entrepreneurship and replaced them with economies dominated by government interests. Starting a business is now very slow and difficult because without federal approval, tribes and individual natives cannot use trust land as collateral to obtain loans. A flourishing indigenous private sector has withered away. To revive indigenous economies, we must reestablish tribal sovereignty and jurisdiction and restore the dynamic customs, culture, and dignity that existed before colonization.